Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we now have all of the entries for this year. All the songs are out, which for me means that the next type of videos I'll be doing are things like prediction videos, ranking videos, talking about semi-final qualifiers, winner potential. So I always look forward to that. So I thought I'd start off before I do my semi-final predictions, doing a little ranking of the Big Five and Sweden. I haven't really talked that much about the Big Five entries yet, I don't think. So I thought I'd do just a small ranking of just those songs and maybe at the end give a little quick prediction on where the Big Five and Sweden could end up on the final scoreboard. I think this could be a good time to talk about the changes that have been made to the format of the show this year. Well, first of all, last year they brought in the televote only semi-finals, no juries voting in the semi-finals, and we're continuing with that. I don't know if it will be a permanent part of the contest forever or if they're trying it out for a few years, but it seemed to work quite well last year. I think all the songs that qualified were the right songs last year, so hopefully it'll be the same this year. So that is carrying on as normal. But this year they brought in two major changes to the contest, and one of them is to do with the semi-finals, and that is the fact that the Big Five and the host Sweden will actually perform live in the semi-finals, because normally the Big Five perform in the jury semi-finals, or the preview shows they're called now, the night before the final. And they film the performances, they put them on YouTube. It's like a little preview of them. But this year, the Big Five will actually perform live, and apparently they'll actually be integrated in the middle of all the other entries, all the other countries competing in the semi-final. They'll just be randomly put in the middle somewhere, not even at the end. So obviously we still can't vote for the Big Five in the semi-final. So to be honest, I don't really see the benefit of it. I don't really get the point of doing it. Maybe I'm missing something. I guess maybe they want the Big Five to be more equal and more involved and have them perform the exact amount of times as the semi-finalists maybe, but you can't vote for them anyway. So yeah, I'm a bit surprised by that choice. I don't really know what the benefit is, but let me know what you think about this change. Can you see the benefit of it and how it'll actually affect the running order of the semi-final? The other big change they brought in this year, which I assume affects the final and the semi-finals, I think, is the voting, the televoting. So normally the voting opens after the last country has performed, but this year they're actually opening the televoting at the start of the show when the first country performs. So it'll just be open throughout the whole time. And that I can understand a little bit more than the semi-final Big Five thing. I understand this a little bit more, and I think it does kind of make sense. It might shorten the show a little bit because it means you're not waiting at the end when the voting window is open, because the voting already started hours ago. So it could be a benefit in that sense to shorten the show a little bit in that interval before the jury voting starts. It could also mean that the running order might not be quite as important as before, because normally if you perform first or close to first, that can be seen as a disadvantage because you might get forgotten about. But maybe now that the voting can open at the start and you can just vote for whoever you want as the show goes by, does that mean that it's better now for the opener of the show? You know, how will this affect the running order overall? That's another question, you know, a whole other topic. But yeah, these are the two major changes to the show this year, and one of them does involve the automatic qualifiers, or the Big Five. So I will give you my personal ranking of the Big Five and Sweden. So my least favourite of them is Germany, and I think Germany are used to being at the bottom of scoreboards in general at the moment. The problem with this, I think they brought this upon themselves, really. I watched the national final live. There were better options. The voting was really weird. It was the jury results, I think, that was just all over the place and not as you'd expect at all. And yeah, there were better options. There were two better options. One of them was Rick, which was the favourite to win, and the other was Bodine Monet, Tears Like Rain. So if any of those won, then I think it would have been a better option. So this was quite unexpected, I thought. And I don't hate the song, and it's not right at the bottom of my overall ranking, but I can see this coming bottom five yet again for Germany, unfortunately. But I have a feeling it won't get like 0 points overall. I think it could pick up some jury points along the way, but I still can't see it doing that well at all, to be honest. So it could be another last place for Germany yet again, maybe. I think the problem is when you watch the live performance and when you hear the song, it's just not competitive, and to me it just feels like an X Factor song or The Voice. It feels like when I watch that live performance, it just feels like I'm watching The Voice, and that's not what Eurovision is. You know, that's not how it should be. It's meant to be the Eurovision Song Contest, and it's meant to be interesting in some kind of way, but it's not really. But I actually really like his voice. It's very rag and bone man. He's got a really good voice, and the song is not bad. It's just quite basic and not competitive enough. And when you know that they had other options in that national final, it's just a very strange decision, I think. So yeah, I don't actually dislike the song that much, and when it comes on, I'll listen to it. Like, I won't skip it. I can happily listen to it. But yeah, it's not really strong enough, and I think it will get forgotten about. So yeah, Germany really needs to bounce back and have another 2018 moment. That's what they need. But yeah, could it be a last place for Germany again in the final? Let me know what you think. Let me know what your prediction is for that. But one above that, I've got Spain, Nebulosa. It was definitely not my favourite of Benidorm Fest, and I didn't really like it at the time at all. But it grew on me, you know, it has grown on me now a little bit. It's still not high in my ranking at all, though, but I like it better now. I wonder if this could get forgotten about as well, actually, on the final. I can't see it doing that well, but it's fun. It's really funky, very groovy. I do like that disco element of it. And I think what improves it is when you watch the live performance and you hear the crowd interaction. the crowd chanting and singing along to the lyrics. I think that improves it a little bit, and if they can do that in the Eurovision audience, then yeah, that will make it a bit better. I think what put me off was how quiet her voice is, both in the live and in the studio version as well. But I think that's just how it's meant to be. Um, but yeah, it's nice, it's fun. But when I like so many other songs more than this just kind of gets a little bit lost in the crowd for me and just a little bit forgotten about. But I don't hate it again, but it was not my personal favourite from Benidorm Fest. So next up, I feel really bad about this. I've got France, Mon Amour, and yeah, I feel really ashamed for having this low because it's actually quite low in my overall ranking as well. I think it's like 18th or something, which sounds really bad. But it's only because I like so many other songs more, so I just have to put them higher. This is a beautiful ballad, absolutely beautiful voice, and the live performance she did in Croatia not long ago, that was stunning, and I think that really made people pay more attention to it. Because the song's been out since November, so you could say the hype kind of faded away a little bit, but it came back when he did that Croatia performance a cappella. That was a really special moment. If he does that live at Eurovision, then that would make it really special. And it does stand out this year because we don't have that many ballads. So, well, we have a few more now, like Serbia, Portugal, but not many. So, this is still up there. Maybe it's not going to win anymore because it was a contender or a favourite to win at first. It doesn't seem to be that way anymore, but I can still see it as a jury favourite or one of the jury favourites, and I'm sure it will be a powerful performance. For me, the song itself, I like it, but it's the type of thing that I appreciate, and I think I'll appreciate it live, definitely, but I don't always want to listen to it. I'm not always in the mood to choose to listen to it, whereas there's so many other songs I just find a lot more interesting to listen to. I do think France have made a good choice with picking Slimane, and I think he'll do well. So my number 3 from this particular ranking is the UK, my country, Ollie Alexander. And I was thinking of putting this below France, so they're both very close for me, and I think they're both quite close together in my general ranking as well. But it's growing on me a bit, and I really do think, I still believe that this is something that will be elevated live with staging, because the song itself right now, when I first heard it, I'm not gonna lie, I was underwhelmed, and I think a lot of people were. I was a bit disappointed. I thought it was just a bit boring and didn't really go anywhere. It was all very one note, just a bit forgettable. There is a bit towards the end where it does start to pick up a little bit and become more interesting. But I really think it will be elevated live. Ollie is a good performer. They probably do have a good staging planned. And I think actually this could do quite well with juries. I think juries might like this. And funny enough, I was watching, if you watch Eurovision Hub on YouTube, then you might know that every year they get the Melody Festival and finalists to do a reaction video to some of the entries of the year. And they've done that video again this year. It's really good. They've got Marcus Martinez, Medina, all the Melfest finalists basically reacting to some of the songs from the year. And they all seem to really like the UK entry. And a lot of them said that it actually sounds a bit Swedish. So maybe Scandinavian countries might like this. Even though I'm not that excited by the song, I do have faith that it will be performed well live, and I just have a feeling it will do a bit better than we expect, because I've seen people say that this will flop completely and do absolutely terribly, bottom five. I think that's a bit harsh. I don't think it will do that badly, because like I said, I think juries will actually like this, and it's not a contender to win anymore, definitely not. Um, but anything above 15th is still good for the UK. But yeah, I do wonder if this might do a bit better than people expect, especially with the jury points. And I think it needs a good staging because the song itself is radio friendly, just not that exciting, but I think it can be improved live. So I do have a bit of faith there, and I think Ollie is a great representative. He is a good performer. I will say the song in the UK is not being promoted as much as I thought. Like, this is Ollie Alexander, he's really well known, one of our most famous representatives we've sent in quite a long time. And he's, he's current, he's famous at the moment. But I don't think the song is charting that well. He has been performing on TV in the UK a few times, but I feel like the excitement isn't really there at the moment, which is strange. You think it would be. Maybe it will be closer to the time. But yeah, it's gone under the radar a little bit, but I think on the night it will do well, and I think it could do a bit better than people are expecting, so that's good. So my number two from the Big Five and the host is the host country, Sweden. Marcus and Martinez, Unforgettable. The winner of Melfest, of course, they came second to Loreen last year, and now they finally won, and they are going to Eurovision, representing not Norway because they are Norwegian, but Sweden. So does that mean they'll get 12 points from Norway? Maybe, I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, I like this. I watched Melfest. I watched the whole final live. This was the favourite to win. Not surprised at all that it won. I think it was a worthy winner because, like I talked about in my reaction video, the staging is very professional, very impressive. They're always good at staging, and they can just transfer the staging to Malmö. It'll look just as good, if not even bigger. So yeah, very professional, brilliant staging. And yeah, I mean, the song is not the most groundbreaking original of songs, but it's Swedish pop. And I quite like it. It is good. And I really like them as well. They seem like really nice people. The reaction when they won, they look really emotional. They just seem really friendly. And yeah, I'm happy for them. It's been revealed that Sweden will open the final. They had their allocation draw and they got first place in the running order. So they will open the final. I know it's not really what you would want, but they weren't going to win it again anyway. And it means that Sweden will start the party in Sweden. So it's a good way to open the show, I think. And yeah, they weren't going to win it anyway, so just have fun with it. So my favourite from the Big Five this year, yet again, it's the same thing every year for me. It's Italy, of course. Italy are the best of the big five and one of the best countries in Eurovision overall. I say this all the time, but it really is my favourite. I am an Italy stan in Eurovision, and this year they've done it again. Angelina Mango, winner of Sanremo, and this is very popular with Eurovision fans. It's up there as a favourite in betting odds, also the community scoreboard app. It is number one, I think, on that app, or it was, and it could be a contender to win, actually. I'll talk about that in another video, but it could win. Like, it really could. Have no idea what the staging will be like, but if it's good, it could do well with both jury and televote. Yeah, I think it'll be another top five for Italy, as always. The song is so catchy. What I like about the song is the flow. It's hard to explain, but I like how it changes every now and then. It's got a bit of rap in there. It's kind of like up and down. It's a party anthem, really. It's got like a Latin feel to it. It's just really fun, and I really like the rap section, and she's got a cappella moment in there as well. So it's very dynamic. She's showing off aspects of her voice in different ways throughout the song. It also feels very modern and fresh for Italy. She's quite young. I think she's like a rising star in Italy, like an up and coming artist. And yeah, it just feels very current, very refreshing. It's in my overall top five in my ranking, and Italy usually are in my top five somewhere. So yeah, it's no surprise really that I like this. There's just something about Italian music. It's like Italian will always sound good in music, and that's just how it always is. So yeah, Italy yet again are up there as one of my favourites. I love it. So yeah, that is my top six of the big five and Sweden. But feel free to let me know your ranking of these countries in the comments below. Maybe it's the same as me or completely different. Now, I did say that I would give a little prediction of how well these countries will actually end up doing in the final. And I do wonder actually if the order that I've personally got them is very similar to how well they'll actually do on the scoreboard. I think it could be because you've got Germany and Spain at the bottom, and I think they will be near the bottom. UK in the middle somewhere. France up there, doing quite well. Sweden probably in the top 10. And Italy, yet again, could come out on top from the big five. So yeah, maybe the order I've got them in could actually be close to the order that they actually do. Will the winner of Eurovision 2024 come from one of the big five countries? If it does, the only one I think it could be is Italy. So other than that, I don't think so. But we'll wait and see. But I would say that Italy is up there as one of the best from the big five. And it usually is, to be honest. So yeah, there we go. I've told you my ranking of the big five, but I have been doing an overall ranking of all of the songs. I'm always changing it all the time. I'm taking things out of my top 10, putting new things into my top 10. And I will present, maybe not my whole ranking, but my top 10. I will do a video for that, definitely, like I always do. So let me know your thoughts on the big five this year. Thank you for watching as always, and subscribing, commenting, liking my videos. Very soon I will be doing my semi-final qualifier predictions. That's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. Until then, thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.